Questions?
Yes, Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was waiting for your go-ahead. Madam Speaker, I've given notice of the following private notice question addressed to the Honourable Prime Minister, Minister of Defence, Home Affairs and External Communications, Minister of Finance, Minister for Rodrigues and Outer Islands, whether in regard to the forthcoming Pay Research Bureau report, he will A, for the benefit of the House, obtain information as to where matters stand regarding the preparation thereof, indicating the expected date of publication, and B, state whether funds have been earmarked for the payment of the recommended salary increases, indicating 1, whether government will bear the cost at one go, 2, whether it will be implemented with retroactive effect, and 3, as from when payments will be effected, including arrears, if any. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honourable
Madam Speaker,
Prime
with your
Minister.
permission, I shall reply to this question. Madam Speaker, as stated in the House before, that is since 1982, the Pay Research Bureau has conducted the general review exercise on pay and grading structures every 5 years, except for the 2016 report. The 2016 report was published after a period of 3 years only. The 2016 PRB report, however, re-established the periodicity of the general review exercise for 5 years, and consequently the last one was in 2021. I'm informed that preparation for the next report started in March 2023, according to a preset work plan. Madam Speaker, it is worth to note that apart from ministries and departments, local authorities and the Rodrigues Regional Assembly, there are some 125 parastatal bodies that fall under the purview of the Pay Research Bureau. The Bureau has to gather maximum information to facilitate interaction and exchange of views with all stakeholders. So far, the Bureau has had more than 675 meetings with staff associations and management of both parastatal bodies and the civil service. 1,710 interviews have been conducted in relation to job description questionnaires, and 17 site visits have been effected to examine alleged problem areas highlighted by stakeholders. Madam Speaker, as the House is aware, the report on the state of the economy, which was published in December 2024, clearly demonstrated the precariousness of the economic situation. The previous government left a much larger deficit that had been announced. Public sector debt had reached an unsustainable level, and all the macroeconomic fundamentals were in the red. It is in this particularly difficult context that we are presented a budget which obviously required drastic measures to redress public finances. It is against this background that the PRB report is being prepared. As regards to Part A of the question, the preparation is at an advanced stage. As regards Part B1, 2, and 3 of the question, it is difficult for me at this stage to give an indication of the implementation of the PRB report, as the cost implications of the report are still unknown.
Thank you. Yes. First supplementary.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Again, I see that government is not keeping another electoral promise. That is, to publish, which was to publish, because they said that before the elections, to publish the report in December and payment to be effected by January next year. Madam Speaker, there has been an erosion in the purchasing power of employees in general and in all sectors since the last budget. Will the Honourable Prime Minister reassure the House that the PRB report will redress this situation, at least in the public sector, Madam Speaker?
Madam Speaker, I'm not sure what the Leader of the Opposition means when he says address the situation. the situation of the economic catastrophe that you've left and how we will address the issue? Yes, purchasing power.
Not in a sitting position. Yeah, please sit down. Please sit down, Prime Minister. You, let him sit down, now you answer. Yeah. Don't speak to me. Don't speak,
My
yes.
question is clear. It is with regard to the loss of purchasing power, and I refer to the civil servants of this country.
Okay, Prime
Will
Minister.
that be addressed?
As I said, Mr. Speaker, so we're working on it, but we have an unprecedented situation where the deficit, he knows, the debt is much, much higher than anyone expected. We knew they were cooking the books and the figures, but we did not expect to see that kind of disaster that we have nurtured. It is in that context that it is being prepared.
Second question.
The Honourable Prime Minister is making reference to the state of the economy. His Minister for Civil Service is not
Leader
even
of
in
the
the country,
opposition.
is travelling.
We
Madam
just said that you will come with questions, not statements.
Now, if this is the case, Madam Speaker, may I ask the Honourable Prime Minister to inform the House whether the Pay Research Bureau has the capacity to carry out such an exercise with regard, I'm referring to the alignment of the salary structures, okay, and whether you will ensure that there is a continual review of the pay grading structures, Madam Speaker.
Yes, we have the capacity and this is being done.
Third question, Leader of the Opposition.
Madam Speaker, the government recently modified...
Question.
Yeah, I'm putting, let me explain why I'm putting
Put your
that
question. And
The government recently modified the criteria for promotion from O-level to A-level, that is from 5 to 3 credits. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House whether this measure has already been included in the recruitment exercise in the public sector?
This is
And
PRB.
may I remind the House, I put the question to the Minister for Labour, and he was agreeable to what I said at that time.
But we're talking of the PRB now.
Yes.
Question again?
Prime Minister.
It's not directly related to PRB, but yes, we are proud, in fact, that we are not leaving students who have had only 3 credits on the side of the road. We are taking them in. They are part of Mauritius, and they have to be catered for.
Madam Speaker, as a gesture of solidarity towards those who are today facing difficulties in the country, can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm whether the salaries of elected members of this House will not be increased in the forthcoming PRB report?
So it hasn't been increased apparently since 2016. Nothing has been done for salaries. But as I said, we look at the context, and this is what we're working on.
Madam Speaker, government has recently introduced measures to reduce the number of vehicles on our roads by the introduction of taxes on certain vehicles. Will government consider reviewing the facilities provided to elected members and their respective political nominees on duty-free cars and other accessories in order to reduce expenses in the
You
country?
mean new ones, of course. Yes, new ones. I'm in very old one.
Nothing to do with the PRB, but he might remind him that this, in fact, is the case. Except when it is essential, otherwise, no.
Madam Speaker, can the Honourable Prime Minister confirm to this House whether the salary gap between the lowest earner, that is, for example, a general worker, and a permanent secretary will be reduced in the forthcoming PRB report?
I'll just explain, Madam Speaker.
Can you answer this, Prime Minister?
Yes.
Of course not, yes. But he heard.
He heard.
Yes, everybody heard.
Yeah. And I saw the reactions also, Madam Speaker. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House whether the PRB report will address certain working conditions, especially for posts which do not require a constant on-site presence with a view to reducing road traffic? And can he confirm whether a study has been carried out?
I'm not quite sure what he's referring to. You want people not to go on site at all.
Work from home, I'm saying.
So
Don't
they haven't
speak.
got to go and check things. They do it from home.
Do I understand, Prime Minister, that if work from home is possible, you have no objection?
Yeah, of course not, but there are certain things that you have to go on site to see what is happening.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, whether a study...
Don't speak.
For this reason, I'm asking whether a study has been carried out, Madam Speaker.
Has there been a study, Prime Minister? Has there been a
We
study?
don't need a study. This is being done worldwide, in all democracies. I hope the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, I'm not saying we can do National Assembly from home. We have to be here.
We did it during
We have, yeah, COVID was an exception.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition, today you're speaking from a sitting position. You don't normally do that.
This is an important issue, Madam Speaker.
Normally you
Now-
respect me.
Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House whether the forthcoming PRB report will address the lack of interest of our youth for jobs in the public sector?
This has nothing to do with the PRB report, Madam Speaker. The PRB report is, as I said, from 1982 is going on, and even when you were in government.
Honourable Prime Minister, since you've been in power, there has been a trend of retired rank civil servants who made a comeback and are now heading certain departments. Will the Honourable Prime Minister reassure the House that the forthcoming PRB report will give clear guidelines to ensure that the exercise of promotion and ranks in the public service are respected?
Prime Minister.
They're always respected, except we do take people on contract where we feel we need very able people because of from the last 10 years. Go and see how promotions were made in the civil service.
Next question. You still have a few questions?
Yeah, I've got two questions
Okay.
more, Madam Speaker. In the same vein, will the Honourable Prime Minister see to it that in the forthcoming PRB report, provision is made, Madam Speaker, to make it compulsory that promotion exercises are conducted at specific intervals in the public sector?
Specific intervals for promotion.
Normally, I don't interfere in this. This is what happens when it has to happen.
Yes.
Yes, one last question. Public servants, Madam Speaker, will get their salary compensation and a review of their salaries and working conditions with the PRB. And this will not be the case for their counterparts in the private sector. Will the Honourable Prime Minister at least consider to make it mandatory for remuneration orders to be reviewed at least once every 5 years, as is the case in the public sector, Madam Speaker?
Madam Speaker, we don't take decisions in isolation. Let me remind the Honourable Leader of the Opposition that our sovereign rating is at the lowest grade, Moody's, Baa3. Despite fiscal consolidation measures taken in the last budget, our public debt remains substantial because of the legacy of the previous government. This is what we have to deal with. Our sovereign rating is clearly at a tipping point. Moody's is still watching. We are not beyond the possibility of a downgrade. This is what we want to prevent at all costs. This is why we took difficult decisions. We had to. We must act responsibly. We will ensure that our actions reverse the situation that we have inherited and put our finances on a more resilient path in line with the commitments taken in the Public Management Debt Act.
It's just a question, Prime Minister, was about the private sector and remuneration orders being reviewed every 5 years. Can you take any give us a reply on this?
We are looking into this,
Yes.
it's a global picture that we
I'm
have to
sure.
look at.
Yes. Mr. Duval.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable.
Yes, may I ask the Honourable Prime Minister how does he intend to boost up morale in the civil service, especially in the police force, when he's renegated on his promise to pay back PRB, whilst he's made it a top priority to triple the salaries and benefits of advisors, senior advisors who were earning 90,000 rupees, and now the top ones, including the Ministry of Finance, are earning, including gratuity, 240,000 rupees.
That is not the case, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.